The clatter of ceramic mugs and the low hum of conversation fill the cafe, background noise to the silent movie playing out in my head. She's walking towards me, weaving through the tightly packed tables. Olivia. Her hair catches the light filtering through the large front window, and she's wearing that same nervous smile, the one that tugs at the corner of her lip when she knows she's messed up but hopes her charm will see her through. It's the exact same smile she wore 5 years ago, or rather, 5 years from now, in the life I left behind, right before everything shattered. Except this time I know it's coming. My hand tightens slightly around my lukewarm coffee cup. The memory flicker hits, brief but sharp, like a glitch in reality. Waking up. Not in the sterile, minimalist apartment Olivia had insisted on after my first promotion, but in my old, cramped post-college place, the scent of stale pizza and cheap air freshener. Disoriented, head pounding, not from a hangover, but from the impossible weight of remembering. Remembering Olivia's tearful confession, Mark's smug justification, the public humiliation at our engagement party, the business I lost, the future that imploded. Waking up 5 years in the past, a rewind button slammed without my consent, burdened and blessed with the knowledge of every betrayal yet to come. A second chance. Or maybe a chance for payback. Olivia slides into the booth opposite me, shedding her coat. "Alex, I am so sorry I'm late," she breathes, reaching across the table, her fingers brushing mine. The traffic was insane, and then Clara called. The practiced cascade of excuses. In my first life, I would have bought it, offered a comforting smile, maybe felt a twinge of annoyance buried under layers of wanting to believe her. Now? I see the calculation behind the wide eyes, the subtle calibration of her apology. I know the traffic wasn't that bad. I know her mother probably did call, likely to remind Olivia about the charming hedge fund manager she met last week. "It's fine, Liv," I say, my voice smoother, calmer than the old Alex could ever manage. I withdraw my hand gently to pick up my cup. "No worries." This cafe, the Daily Grind. Apt name. It's where I proposed in the original timeline. Down on one knee, heart pounding, offering her a ring I'd saved months for, completely oblivious that she'd spent the previous night with Mark, my best friend, my business partner. We came here for anniversaries, for weekend brunches, weaving more memories into a tapestry that, for her, was already moth-eaten with lies. She launches into an animated story about her morning meeting, gesturing with hands adorned with rings I didn't buy her. Gifts from her mother, probably. I nod, make the appropriate listening noises, but my mind is elsewhere. It's watching her, cataloging the familiar patterns. The way she deflects direct questions about her time, the subtle glances at her phone, the casual mentions of Mark's name woven into work anecdotes. She thinks she's playing the same game, juggling her options, keeping me hooked with just enough affection while exploring other avenues. She has no idea the rules have changed. She's playing checkers, still setting up the board, while I'm sitting across from her, having already seen the checkmate 5 years down the line. A cold, quiet satisfaction settles in my chest. This time I hold the cards. This time I control the narrative. Olivia. College sweetheart. We met over a spilled tray of cafeteria food. Cliché, but true. She was ambitious even then, driven, with a laugh that could fill a room, and an insecurity that gnawed at her edges. She needed constant validation, first from grades, then from promotions, then from male attention. Marketing executive now, sharp and polished, but still chasing external approval. In the first timeline, she convinced herself she loved me, loved the idea of us, stable, predictable Alex. But my quiet ambition wasn't flashy enough. My steady progress wasn't fast enough. She wanted the fireworks, the drama, the feeling of being desired by someone deemed more successful. She wasn't evil, just weak, easily swayed by shiny objects and whispered promises. And the shiniest object, the loudest whisper, came from Mark. Mark Jensen, best friend since kindergarten. We built Lego empires together, started our first terrible band, swore we'd be each other's best man. We even co-founded a tech startup right out of college, fueled by ramen noodles and my innovative code. He was the salesman, the networker, the face. I was the engine, the brains behind the product. In the first timeline, he saw Olivia not just as my girlfriend, but as another potential acquisition. He flattered her, fed her ambition, validated her insecurities in ways I apparently couldn't. While I was coding late nights, he was subtly positioning himself, eventually stealing not just Olivia, but the core concept of our startup, tweaking it just enough to call it his own after I was ousted. The double betrayal cut deeper than anything. Fueling Olivia's insecurity was her mother, Clara, perfectly coiffed, dripping quiet judgment. Clara never overtly disapproved of me, but the passive aggression was constant. Alex is sweet, dear, but is he ambitious enough for you? That startup sounds interesting. Not very stable, though, is it? She relentlessly compared me to the sons of her wealthy friends, planting seeds of doubt in Olivia's mind, pushing her towards men with established careers and fatter portfolios. She saw Olivia's partner as a reflection of her own success, and I wasn't reflecting brightly enough. At work, there was Jennifer, my direct supervisor in the original timeline, before Mark and I were forced out of our own company. Sharp, political, ambitious herself. She met Olivia at a company mixer, and they clicked instantly. Suddenly, my project proposals faced more scrutiny. My contributions were overlooked. Plum assignments went elsewhere, often to teams Mark was loosely affiliated with. Jennifer saw Olivia as a useful connection, someone linked to the rising star Mark, and I became collateral damage. She created obstacles, subtly sabotaged my progress, all while maintaining a professional veneer. And completing the circle of trust breakers was Diane, Olivia's best friend since childhood, our confidant, the one I turned to when I first felt things were off with Olivia. She listened patiently, offered sympathetic advice, reassured me I was just being paranoid. Liv adores you, Alex. She's just stressed with work. All the while, she knew. She was Olivia's alibi, her cheerleader, encouraging the affair with Mark. You deserve excitement, she'd tell Olivia, while telling me to just be more understanding. Her feigned support was almost worse than the affair itself. These 5 people, my girlfriend, my best friend, her mother, my boss, her best friend, an interconnected web. Looking back, I see how they worked, consciously or unconsciously, in concert. Mark and Olivia provided the core betrayal. Clara and Jennifer undermined my external validation, career, and suitability. Diane provided cover and gaslit my intuition. They created an echo chamber where my concerns were dismissed, my value questioned, my reality distorted. The original trauma is seared into my memory. Our engagement party, held at my parents' modest suburban home, a point of subtle contention with Clara. I was floating, oblivious, happy. Then I went looking for Olivia to share a toast. Found her tucked away in the dimly lit den, with Mark, not talking. Their hands, their bodies, intimate, unmistakable. The world tilted. Sound rushed out. I remember backing away, stumbling into the hallway, the sudden shocked silence of my family as they saw my face. The humiliation was absolute, public, devastating. It didn't just break my heart, it broke my sense of self. Now, sitting across from Olivia in this cafe, the ghosts of those villains hover around her. She smiles, oblivious, thinking she's just running a little late for coffee. She has no idea she's already 5 years late, and the game she started is one I'm now poised to finish. The power dynamic hasn't just shifted, it's reversed entirely. The first real test comes 3 weeks later. A company networking event, one of those mandatory fun things designed to foster synergy, or whatever corporate buzzword is trending. Olivia and I planned to leave together, maybe grab a late dinner afterwards. Predictably, an hour into the forced mingling, she finds me by the sad-looking cheese platter. "Alex," she starts, already wearing the apologetic mask. "Listen, Mark just cornered me. We really need to hash out the strategy for the Henderson pitch. It's crucial. We might be here late. You don't mind heading off, do you?" Crucial project. Same excuse as last time. Henderson Holdings. A potential whale of a client. Olivia's dream account. In the first timeline, she and Mark did work late, using the shared pressure cooker environment to further blur their professional and personal lines. I'd gone home alone, feeling that familiar pang of being secondary. This time, I summon my most understanding smile. "Of course not, Liv. Henderson's huge. You guys nail that pitch." I even add a supportive flourish. "Want me to bring by some of that Thai place you love later? Keep you fueled?" Relief floods her face. "Oh, Alex, you're the best. But no need. Mark said he'd order something in for us. Thanks, though." "Mark, of course." She hurries off, phone already pressed to her ear, presumably coordinating with her partner. I watch her go, the smile fading from my face. Then I pull out my own phone. I dial a number I acquired very recently. Robert Henderson III, the CEO's son. An avid collector of vintage synthesizers, a passion I happen to share, thanks to my future knowledge of his niche interests. We'd connected online a week prior. "Rob? Alex Thorne?" "Yeah, great chatting the other day. Listen, I know it's last minute, but I had a thought about your father's company and its data integration challenges. My team has developed something that might be relevant. Any chance I could steal 15 minutes tomorrow morning? Show you something disruptive?" Thanks to knowing the key weaknesses in Mark and Olivia's upcoming pitch, gleaned from Olivia's late-night vents in the first timeline, I tailor my own impromptu proposal to Henderson Jr., focusing on innovative solutions I know his father secretly favors. He's intrigued. Meeting secured. The fallout is swift. 2 days later, the office buzzes. Henderson Holdings signed with a smaller, unknown tech firm mine, though no one here connects it to me yet, impressed by their agile, forward-thinking approach. Mark and Olivia's meticulously prepared pitch never even got its full hearing. The promotion they were both banking on, shelved. The tension between them becomes palpable, visible in clipped exchanges and forced smiles during team meetings. They blame bad luck, corporate espionage, anything but their own lack of true innovation. Simultaneously, I subtly shift my own behavior. I become slightly less available. Take longer to answer texts. Have other plans occasionally when Olivia suggests spontaneous get-togethers, not distant enough to raise alarms, just enough to create a vacuum, a space where her anxiety can bloom. If I'm not constantly reassuring her, where will she turn for validation? Predictably, she doubles down. Grand gestures. Surprise visits to my apartment, the old one I'm still in, much to her mother's chagrin. More texts, more calls, effusive declarations of how much she misses me, needs me. "Things have been so stressful at work since losing Henderson," she sighs dramatically one night, curled up against me on my worn-out sofa. "I just need you, Alex. My rock." I play the part, offer comfort, let her believe she's reaffirming our bond. Inside, I'm detached, observing, documenting. Every text, every call, every broken plan logged mentally, sometimes physically in a secure digital file. While she's trying to secure me, I'm secretly interviewing. A rival tech firm, Synthetics Global, has shown significant interest. They value my actual skills. The ones Mark and Jennifer consistently downplayed. They see the potential Mark tried to steal. Late one night, Olivia falls asleep on my couch after another long work session, likely commiserating with Mark. Her phone buzzes on the coffee table. A text notification lights up the screen. Sender, Mark. Message. Need to talk. Can't stop thinking about last night. The exact same message from the first timeline. The one that confirmed my initial suspicions back then, sending me into a spiral of denial and pain. This time, I look at the glowing screen. I look at Olivia, sleeping peacefully, oblivious. A slow, cold smile spreads across my face. The loop is running perfectly. The cliffhanger isn't a shock. It's a confirmation. Stage 1 complete. The lost Henderson account becomes the perfect excuse. Olivia starts working even later, more frequently citing urgent strategy sessions with Mark to recoup their losses. The lines blur further. Their partnership solidifies under the guise of professional necessity. I watch, outwardly supportive, inwardly noting every fabricated deadline, every shared late-night pizza receipt accidentally left in her bag. My next move requires a delicate touch. Calculated vulnerability. I arrange lunch with Clara, Olivia's mother, at a place she likes. Overly formal, overpriced. Amidst polite chatter about her garden club and my still struggling, in her eyes, career, I lean in conspiratorially. Clara, can I be honest? I adopt a hopeful, slightly nervous tone. I'm planning to ask Olivia to marry me soon. I know things have been stressful for her at work, but I really feel we're solid. I wanted to get your blessing. Unofficially, of course. Clara's perfectly sculpted eyebrows arch slightly. Her smile tightens. Oh, Alex. Marriage? That's a big step. Are you sure the timing is right, with Olivia's career being so demanding? The seeds of doubt are instantly sown, exactly as I knew they would be. She won't forbid it, but she'll subtly discourage Olivia, emphasizing the pressures, questioning my ability to support her ambitions adequately. Perfect. Let her do my work for me, creating friction from within their camp. Meanwhile, Synthetics Global makes a formal offer. Excellent position, significant pay rise, challenging projects. Everything my current role isn't. I accept immediately, but negotiate a start date 3 months out. Crucially, I tell no one. Not Olivia, not my parents, not even my closest, non-Mark friends. My career escape route is secured, waiting silently in the wings. With Olivia spending more time with Mark under the guise of work, I decide to inject some chaos into their dynamic. There's another colleague, Ben, ambitious, slightly insecure, and known to have a mild crush on Olivia. I start casually mentioning Ben's recent successes in conversations with Mark. Heard Ben really impressed the VP with that quarterly report. Saw Ben and Olivia laughing by the coffee machine earlier. Looked like they were hitting it off. Just enough to prick Mark's territorial instincts, to make him wonder if he has competition for Olivia's attention, both professionally and personally. Let him waste energy looking over his shoulder. The opportunity for a more direct strike arrives during a critical client presentation, pitching a software upgrade to Atherton Corp., a long-standing client Jennifer is desperate to retain. Mark is leading the technical demo. The night before, I offer to help finalize the presentation slides, citing my familiarity with the client's old systems. Mark, swamped and arrogant, readily agrees. I ensure the final deck loaded onto the conference room laptop contains a subtle error. Instead of the polished, final version of the technical specs, it includes an earlier draft, one filled with Mark's initial, rather clumsy coding attempts and several glaring inefficiencies. The presentation starts well. Then Mark gets to the demo. He clicks through, unaware. The client's CTO, a sharp woman named Patel, frowns. Mr. Jensen, slide 14. That algorithm seems unnecessarily complex. Wouldn't a recursive function be more efficient here? Mark flushes, unprepared. He fumbles. Jennifer glares daggers at him. Then Olivia jumps in, defending Mark vehemently. Miss Patel, Mark's approach prioritizes stability, which we know is Atherton's key concern. The complexity ensures robustness. Her defense is passionate, overly personal, bordering on unprofessional. Eyebrows raise around the room. Why is she so invested in defending his mediocre work? The seed of suspicion is planted in Jennifer's mind, and potentially the client's. Mark looks flustered, Olivia defensive. Mission accomplished. Feeling the pressure, sensing perhaps a distance growing between us, my calculated unavailability paying off, Olivia proposes a romantic getaway weekend. Just us, Alex, let's reconnect. No phones, no work talk. She paints a picture of candle-lit dinners, walks on the beach, promises about prioritizing us moving forward. It's a desperate attempt to solidify her hold on me, the stable option, while keeping Mark, the exciting option, simmering on the side. I agree enthusiastically, knowing the promises are empty, knowing the patterns will hold. I play my part, the loving boyfriend relieved she's recommitting. As I'm packing for the predictable charade of a weekend, my phone buzzes. An encrypted message from an unknown number. It contains only 3 words. She knows. Watch out. My blood runs cold for a second. She? Who? How? It's the first ripple from outside the known players, the first hint that something, or someone else, understands the game I'm playing. A supernatural helper? Another player in this bizarre cosmic do-over? The mystery deepens, adding a new layer of tension. The second loop is complete, but the board just got infinitely more complex. The company retreat. Mandatory team-building hell at a lakeside resort. In the first timeline, this was the scene of the final, undeniable confirmation. The place I found Olivia and Mark, not just talking, but locked in an embrace that left no room for doubt, tucked away on a dimly lit balcony overlooking the water. This time, history obligingly repeats itself. Guided by memory and a sick sense of inevitability, I walk towards that same balcony after the painfully awkward karaoke session. And there they are. Different lighting, same pose. Olivia's head on Mark's shoulder, his arm possessively around her waist, whispering. An intimate tableau, shattering the carefully constructed narrative of just colleagues working late. Old Alex would have exploded, roared, confronted, demanded answers, tears stinging his eyes. New Alex? He stops just short of the doorway, pauses for a beat, long enough for them to sense a presence. They turn, eyes widening in panic as they see me. I don't shout, I don't accuse, I simply offer a small, polite, almost pitying smile. Excuse me, I say softly, as if interrupting a mundane conversation. Wrong way. Then I turn, calmly, and walk back towards the lights and noise of the main lodge, leaving them frozen in their guilt, utterly confused by my non-reaction. Their script called for drama, tears, ultimatums. My quiet dignity throws them completely off balance. Let them stew in their uncertainty. The next phase required an introduction. 2 days later, back in the city, I arrange a chance encounter at a high-end coffee shop near our soon-to-be-former office. Olivia is there, waiting for me, looking anxious, likely preparing another round of justifications or gaslighting after the retreat incident. Just as she opens her mouth to speak, a woman approaches our table. Tall, elegant, with eyes that hold an unnerving level of intelligence and calm. "Alex, darling," she says, her voice smooth as silk. She leans down and kisses me lightly, a gesture of easy intimacy. Olivia stares, stunned into silence. "Olivia, allow me to introduce Natalie Sterling," I say, my tone level. Natalie, this is Olivia Vance, a colleague. Natalie extends a perfectly manicured hand. A pleasure, she says, her gaze sharp but unreadable. Who is Natalie? The past 5 years flash through my mind. Not just years of silent plotting against Olivia and Mark, but years of building. Shortly after my rebirth, reeling and unsure, I was approached by Natalie, an investor, impossibly successful, unnervingly insightful. She knew things she shouldn't. About my defunct startup, about Mark's betrayal, about my temporal displacement. You look like someone who just got a cosmic mulligan, she'd said at our first meeting, a cryptic smile playing on her lips. I specialize in second chances. Slowly, cautiously, we formed an alliance. She invested heavily in the real version of my startup idea, the one Mark had stolen and diluted. With her resources and my refined code, improved by 5 years of future tech knowledge, we built an empire quietly, under subsidiary names, far from the radar of my old life. We also built something else, a partnership based on mutual respect, shared goals, and radical honesty. Trust grew into affection, then love. We married quietly 2 years ago. Natalie wasn't just my business partner. She was my wife, the anchor in my second chance at life. Now, sitting across from a bewildered Olivia, Natalie gets straight to the point. Alex mentioned you work at Omnicorp? She asks politely. Omnicorp, the parent company that acquired what was left of my original startup, where Olivia, Mark, and Jennifer now worked. Olivia nods numbly. Interesting, Natalie continues, sipping her espresso. My investment firm completed the acquisition of Omnicorp's tech division last week. Significant restructuring is planned. The penny drops. Olivia's face drains of color. I haven't just built a rival company, I own the company she works for. The power inversion is absolute. Brutal. Natalie then looks directly at me, a shared understanding passing between us. It's a strange universe, isn't it? She murmurs, loud enough for Olivia to hear. Sometimes it gives people, second loops, a chance to fix things. She meets my eyes. Recognized you straight away, fellow traveler. The confirmation hangs in the air. Natalie also experienced rebirth, though her story is her own. She recognized the signs in me, another soul thrown back in time. My mysterious messenger? It was likely her, testing the waters. The following Monday, the official announcement rocks Omnicorp. Major restructuring. Key departments realigned. Jennifer is shifted sideways to a dead-end project management role. Mark finds his team dissolved, his projects reassigned to Ben, who, ironically, proves quite competent without Mark undermining him. Olivia is transferred to a minor account in a different division, effectively isolating all three of them, stripping them of their power base and collaborative potential. Their rivals, people they'd overlooked or sabotaged, are quietly promoted. All executed under the guise of standard corporate efficiency, orchestrated seamlessly by Natalie and me. Olivia is reeling. Her career path shattered, her affair partner sidelined, her stable boyfriend revealed as the architect of her company's takeover and married to the woman signing the restructuring orders. Cornered, desperate, she sees only one way out, a grand gesture, a public declaration. She believes, perhaps truly, that if she can just make me see how much she loves me, needs me, we can salvage something. She starts planning her confession, unaware she's walking directly into the final act I've been preparing for 5 years. The precipice looms. The annual Omnicorp Gala. Black ties, glittering dresses, forced smiles, and corporate backslapping. The perfect stage for the final scene. Olivia has been dropping hints all week, needing to talk, having something important to say. I know what's coming. Natalie stands beside me, radiating calm confidence. My anchor in the storm I know is about to break. Midway through the evening, after the CEO's tedious speech, Olivia makes her move. She somehow commandeers the microphone on the small stage usually reserved for award announcements. A hush falls over the ballroom. Spotlights find her. She looks stunning, vulnerable, desperate. I need to say something, she begins, her voice trembling slightly, scanning the crowd until her eyes lock on mine. There's someone here tonight. Someone I haven't treated right. Someone I let slip away because I was foolish, scared, and listened to the wrong voices. Tears glitter in her eyes. Alex, I know I messed up. Terribly. But these past few weeks, seeing what I might lose, it's made everything clear. I love you, Alex. I've always loved you. Please, can we just talk? Can you give us another chance? The raw emotion hangs in the air. People stare, whispering. She looks at me, hopeful, expectant, anticipating a dramatic reconciliation, perhaps believing this public vulnerability will force my hand. I take a slow breath. Then I step forward, gently taking the microphone from her trembling hand. Natalie moves smoothly to my side, her hand finding mine. Olivia, I say, my voice calm, clear, amplified through the ballroom. That was quite a declaration, and I appreciate your honesty, finally. I pause, letting the tension build. But perhaps there's someone you haven't met. I turn slightly, bringing Natalie forward. Everyone, I'd like to introduce Natalie Sterling, my incredible business partner. I squeeze her hand, looking directly at Olivia, and my wife of 2 years. A collective gasp ripples through the crowd. Olivia stares, her face crumpling in disbelief and utter humiliation. The public confession, meant to be her redemption, becomes her public downfall. Mark, standing near the bar, looks like he's been physically struck. Jennifer shrinks back into the shadows. The chaos afterwards is swift. The affair, hinted at, whispered about, is now undeniable public knowledge. Olivia and Mark become instant pariahs within the company's social structure. Their professional careers at Omnicorp are effectively over, the restructuring having already sidelined them, this final spectacle sealing their fate. Clara confronts me near the coat check later, her face a mask of fury. How could you, Alex? Humiliating her like that? After everything. She loves you. We can fix this. I'll talk to her. Clara, I interrupt gently but firmly. There's nothing to fix. Olivia made her choices. In this life, and the last one I remember. Your constant undermining didn't help, by the way. I know you always thought I wasn't good enough. Her jaw drops. I don't wait for a response. Over the next few days, I grant audiences to the key players. Individually. To Mark, I lay out how I knew he stole my original code, how he manipulated Olivia, how his ambition eclipsed his loyalty in both timelines. He desperately offers to sign over full rights to the old startup idea, give me all the credit. Too late, Mark, I say, declining his pathetic bargain with business-like finality. I built something better, without you. To Jennifer, I detail how I knew she'd systematically sabotaged my career track, favoring Mark and Olivia for political gain. To Diane, I reveal I knew she was Olivia's confidant and enabler, feeding me lies while encouraging the affair. The evidence isn't necessary. The knowledge, the quiet certainty in my voice is enough to break through their defenses. Their complicity is laid bare. My final meeting is with Olivia. She requests it. She's stripped of her bravado, her manipulative tactics gone. Just raw, genuine remorse. Tears flow freely as she apologizes, not just for the affair, but for the years of taking me for granted, for her weakness, for the pain she caused. It's the apology I craved in my first life, the validation I thought I needed. And strangely, hearing it now, it lands differently. It's real, I believe her sincerity, but it doesn't change anything. Olivia, I say, my voice compassionate, devoid of bitterness. I hear you, and I believe you're sorry, truly, but my heart moved on a long time ago. I gesture vaguely towards the window, towards the life I've built. Natalie and I, we have something built on honesty from the ground up. I can't go back. Not because I want to punish you, but because I chose happiness. I chose a different future. My refusal isn't angry. It's not vengeful, it's just peaceful. A simple, irrefutable no. The final consequence isn't her destruction, but my liberation. The revenge is complete, not in her suffering, but in my peace. 2 years melt away like sea mist. The Omnicorp Gala feels like a scene from someone else's dramatic movie, not mine. Life has settled into a rhythm that feels authentic, earned. Alexandria Sterling Innovations, the sustainable tech company Natalie and I built from the ashes of my first attempt, is thriving. We're not just profitable, we're making waves, pushing our industry towards greener practices, proving that success and ethics aren't mutually exclusive. It feels good, clean. Our home overlooks the Mediterranean now. A sleek, modern house built into the cliffside near Alexandria, Egypt. A place Natalie had connections to. A place that felt like a true fresh start, continents away from the ghosts of our past lives. Mornings start with strong Egyptian coffee on the terrace, watching the fishing boats head out, discussing board meetings and dive plans with equal importance. Our partnership is seamless, built on shared goals, intellectual sparring, easy laughter, and unwavering mutual respect. It's everything I never knew love could be. Sometimes, sorting through old digital files, I come across photos from before. Me and Olivia smiling awkwardly at some college party. Me and Mark, grinning, arms slung around each other's shoulders after winning a hackathon. There used to be a sharp sting, a phantom limb-ache of betrayal. Now, just a faint echo. The pain has been processed, filed away, not forgotten, but integrated. My past doesn't define my present. Therapy helped. Something Natalie, with her own second-chance baggage, insisted on early. Facing the trauma head-on was more healing than any revenge plot. We saw Olivia once, unexpectedly, at a global tech summit in Berlin last year. She was with another company, looking professional, perhaps a little subdued. Our eyes met across a crowded exhibition hall. A brief, awkward nod. No words exchanged. I saw the flicker of regret in her expression, but mostly I saw a stranger I used to know. I felt no triumph, no malice, just a quiet wish for her to find her own peace, whatever that looked like. Natalie squeezed my arm, a silent acknowledgement, and we moved on. The intricate dance of revenge, the careful plotting, the satisfying reveals. They were necessary, perhaps, to exorcise the demons of that first life, to reclaim my agency. But the real victory wasn't in their downfall. It was in building this life, this happiness, with Natalie. Genuine fulfillment tastes far sweeter than vengeance ever could. We're talking about expanding again, both the company into new European markets and our family. The idea of children, once an abstract concept tied up in the expected life trajectory with Olivia, now feels real, exciting, a future co-created with intention and love. Tonight we're out on the water. Our boat, the Second Wind, cuts smoothly through the calm evening sea as the sun bleeds orange and purple across the horizon. Our phones are off, tucked away below deck. Just the sound of the water lapping against the hull, the cry of a distant gull, the comfortable silence between Natalie and me. She leans her head on my shoulder, and I wrap an arm around her, breathing in the salt air, fully present in this perfect moment we didn't just stumble into, but consciously, deliberately built together. Free,